Hello, and welcome to the W.A.I.T channel. What Am I Thinking? A podcast where two sisters share uplifting conversations on fun and sometimes serious topics.
Join us each week by clicking the notification bell and subscribing to our channel. If you enjoy the show, use the share link. It's one of the best ways to expand the conversation.
Hello and welcome back to the W.A.I.T channel, What Am I Thinking? So we took a little break last week. There's a lot going on and we wanted to come to you this week with something fresh to see what you're thinking about, and that is the Real Housewives of New York, the reboot, the new cast for season 14. So, Tracy, I know you said that you haven't had the opportunity to watch all of the episodes, but what are you thinking so far? Are you in or out?
So, I would say I am not in and I'm not out. So, I'm not in to the point where I am watching it every week. I watched the first two episodes and I said, okay, this is okay. I believe I can watch this, but it has not been a must-see TV situation for me. So I have not. So I'll probably end up waiting till like the season ends and maybe just binge right before the reunion or something like that. I'm not sure what episode we're on or how many more we have to go, but I kind of would like to just kind of do a rundown on the cast members as a way to weigh in, because since I haven't seen every episode, I could not kind of talk about how individuals have handled situations per se. But I could give a read on what I think of the cast members thus far from what I have seen. And even though I haven't watched, I have heard things, through other bloggers and other social media personalities. So what are you thinking about it, in or out for you?
I would say I am in. But it's not one of those shows that I have even put on record season, but I have watched all of the episodes. And that's strange because I've had to ask myself the question, what makes reality TV the must-see? And I don't really have the answer for that because I'm not really big on the fights and the controversy and people being unnecessarily mean or disruptive. But I know that in reality, the world of reality TV, that's what a lot of people tune in to see. However, when I watch the new RHONY, this cast, they are all quite interesting. And I find that when I turn it on, I do sit and I watch the entire episode. I like the ladies. I think that they're fresh. I'm glad that they got a new cast because the old cast, I think that they had run their course and it was time for the reboot. I think this is a good group. I'm not fooled by any idea that they were friends prior to the show. I think that these are a group of women that they put together and they established friendships. I don't know how I really feel about that because it feels forced and phony, but for some reason these women, they're pulling it off. Off.
What I would say to that, number one, the fact that you are current on the episodes and that you sit whenever you do watch it and watch it all the way through, that is not just in for you. That's like a big deal because you will record it and watch it whenever, that's from what I remember with you watching stuff. But I don't think they try to pretend to have these friendships, I think they all came in kind of saying we are friend group adjacent. And that was okay with me. Some of them were more familiar than others, but I don't think they tried to come in and pretend that they had these long-term connections and things like that, which I was okay with that. But let's just do a little rundown of the personalities, and hopefully we won't forget anybody. So I'll leave it to you. So let's start with Brynn. She's kind of like the youngin of the group, right?
Correct. Right. Brynn has a very heart-tugging story. And the last 2 episodes, we had the opportunity to hear her share about her childhood. She did have some traumatic experiences with her parents and some hateful experiences in school because she's biracial. But she is just so bubbly. I like her now. She is that type of person that I believe could maybe rub a nerve, if you get my drift.
I do.
Yes. But right now, I'm liking Brynn. I like Brynn.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was okay with her. I felt like she was open with her messiness.
Yes.
And she wasn't trying to pretend. She wasn't putting her hands behind her back. She was open with her messiness, and I was okay with that. Okay. And so next, let's talk about, is it Jessel? How do you say her name?
Jessel.
Mm-hmm. So Jessel was pretty interesting to me. She came off to me as a little high maintenance, be very opinionated, and I didn't get warm and fuzzies from her. I probably got more from the husband and the mom than I did her. But what's your take on her?
I have to agree. Right now, of all the women, Jessel's on the bottom of the list.
Okay.
I do believe that, when you're talking about different cultures, and she wanted to try and use that British tag the way Lisa Vanderpump did when she would have backhanded insults at people, when it's like, no, that was an insult. So she almost wanted to try and play that British card a couple of times when she's been in the United States long enough to know better. But she's a person that I think for herself, she reminds me of Camille Grammer, her first year, and how she just came off really, really bad. And I fear for her that her first year, she's not going to come off looking very good.
Okay. All right. And so, another one is kind of, I consider her, in the episodes I've seen, her and Brynn are kind of close, and that is it
Aaron?
No, well, I wasn't going to say Aaron, but let's go ahead and talk about Aaron.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think, now, whether or not they actually had a long-standing relationship, or when they brought the cast of women together, did they click? I don't know. But Erin, to me, is just a no-nonsense New York, and she prides herself on being a New Yorker. She's a no-nonsense girl. I can accept that. Now, one thing I do notice about her, she has an extremely alpha A personality, pushy, but sometimes, like for instance, when she invited them to her home in the Hamptons, for a weekend, all right? Who invites someone to their home in the wintertime and they don't know how to turn on the heat? Then you get a little perturbed when they complain about the fact that it's cold in your house and you're saying, I don't know what to do. So in that instance, I'm thinking you should not be bothered by that, Aaron, because they are uncomfortable. And the fact that she couldn't get that, it just reminds me of this person that's the boss and they're in charge and this is the way it's going to be done and you're just going to soldier on. That's just her personality. I was not on her side for the Hampton weekend. I think a couple people gave her a D and an F for her hosting. I tend to agree, but I'm still here for Erin to see what is she going to bring to the show.
Well, she has that big extended family dynamic, so I would think that gatherings and hostings, because within the family you got to take the temperature of a lot of people to make sure everybody's good and okay. So that is a little disappointing that she didn't handle having them in her home a little bit better, and that she wasn't more prepared for that. So,
and the food, she wasn't feeding anybody. I mean, I was with Sai.
All that's, but I wonder about her if she sees herself the way she truly comes off. I don't know if she really sees who she really is. I don't think she pretends, but I don't know if she kind of realizes the lens through which other people see her. Maybe that's a better way to say it.
Yeah.
Okay. And who's next? We have Jenna, right?
I love Jenna Lyons.
Yeah.
I'm just a Jenna Lyons fan.
Yeah. Same. So for what I saw in the couple episodes that I saw, and the thing I liked about her, similar to what I liked about Brian, is no excuses, just plain simple. This is who I am. This is how I am. I'm not putting on any airs. I'm just me, and you take me and my quirkiness and everything else and love it or don't. It doesn't faze me.
I did not like that in some of their confessionals, the women were giving her a hard time about not talking about the woman that was in her life. Apparently they're no longer together. Mm-hmm. I felt like she has been very transparent with her life. Mm-hmm. And even one of the shows, her son was on the show. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can't force other people to be adults to be a part of this reality show. And if her partner did not want to be public for whatever reason, that is her partner's prerogative. And you have to respect that.
When the show was filming, she was in a relationship?
When the show was filming, right. And around Christmas, at one of the gatherings that they were at, or one of the shows that's coming up, she announces that the relationship is over.
Okay, so it was when the show starts taping, they're together. Somewhere before the season ends, they break up.
Right.
Yes. Okay. Well, it is what it is, and you're right. When someone signs up for the show, you want their family to have a buy-in and those who are in their lives, but they don't always do it, and we've seen that happen before. So that's not new. So the fact that she didn't pretend that the relationship, she could have tried to hide that.
Absolutely.
So, you embrace that part of her openness, even if you don't care for the fact that her partner didn't choose to take with them. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay with that. Okay. Is it Uba?
Uba.
Yes. So Uba seems fun to me. From what I didn't get to see in those first couple episodes, there was nothing deep that I saw yet, but to me, she seemed like a girl's girl. I didn't see anything that was like rubbed me the wrong way, but I also didn't see anything that was like, I love her kind of thing yet. So we'll see. I'm warming up to who she is.
I agree. I agree. I like her, but as far as who she is, she shared a little bit about her mom and how important her mother was in her life and family and being here alone in the country. But the depth that I would really like to see from her, I haven't seen yet.
Okay. And hopefully that is to come, still to come.
Right.
Okay. And who else do we have? Is it one more?
Sai Da Silva.
Okay. I liked her.
Yeah.
And I love that her marriage dynamic. I really do.
Teamwork.
Yes. I love that. And I have nothing negative to say about her. I have enjoyed what I've seen, and you've seen more than I have, but yeah, I've enjoyed what I've seen about her.
She seems like, if of all the women, and if I had to choose two that I would love to be girlfriends with, it would be Jenna and Sai. Yeah. And if I had to narrow it down to just one, it would be Sai.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would it be the same for if you were just going to like go to lunch or dinner with one or two of them? Would it be the same ones you would want to be friends with?
At lunch or dinner, Jenna just seems like this, like that book that's on the shelf, and you haven't had time to read it, but now you get the opportunity to read it. She's been in her role and her life. It just seems like there's this depth. It's like when they went to the Hamptons and she pulled up in that antique like Mercedes. It's like it was so Jenna.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen, yeah. So for me, I'm in, but I'm not in the way I have been. But I have to say, I'm at a point where I'm like that with all of the reality TV right now. At some point, I will tune back in and do some binges, but I'm actually okay with, and I was one that when the episode dropped, I would at least had to record it, even if I didn't watch it real time. But I'm in a different space right now, and I know it's there, and I will indulge when I'm ready. But I'm not having to do it right now, and that feels kind of good for me to not be driven by wanting to know what's happening and what's coming on and who's doing what, and so that's growth for me, Lori. When it comes to reality TV, because it's been my guilty pleasure since the Real World days,
Mm-hmm.
I go way back with my reality TV. So the fact that I am fine with episode upon episode airing, and I have no clue as to what's happening unless I happen to see something on social media or listen in to something on Sirius or something like that, or a podcast. That is fine with me. And I'm okay if they do spoilers. I don't mind even knowing about the spoilers now, where there was a time where I'd be like, nope, let me cut that off because I haven't watched it yet. I'm not in that space right now, and that's a good thing. But I will be binging the rest of the season before the reunion. So I do have to pay enough attention to find out when the season is ending, because I really want to binge, and I will probably watch the reunion for New York real time.
Well, I think that you should. I would be so interested to hear what you, our listeners, are thinking about the reboot of RHONY. Are you in or are you out? Be a part of the conversation. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know who your favorite cast member is. And if you don't like Jessa like me,
It's not a betrayal to the old the old guard to enjoy this new era.
Absolutely.
It's not a betrayal at all, because I want to say it's apples and oranges, but it's really apples and apples when you think of it. And it's okay. You can take the bite out of 2 apples and be satisfied. It's okay.
Yes. So tune in next week, and as I said before, hit the notification bell so that you'll know when the new episodes upload, and let us know in the comment section what you're thinking. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely ours and should be taken as such. Our thoughts are intended purely for entertainment purposes. Please do not take anything we say as fact or advice. Thank you for listening.